Welcome into our midweek edition of Believe in Panthers here on the Believe Podcast Networks, brought to you by the fine folks over at Fanduel. Desmond Johnson in the house here with you with the Panthers all-time leading rusher, Jonathan Stewart. Make sure you rate and subscribe, pound that like button over on the Believe YouTube channel. Of course, you can find our audio editions of this show each week, twice a week now, post-game live reactions on Sundays, and our midweek preview episode you can find on all major podcast platforms. Loaded show for you today in terms of getting you ready for the Panthers versus Green Bay, who I just realized, I was just telling Stu, Green Bay has the best record percentage-wise in the entire NFC. So it doesn't get any easier for the Carolina Panthers on the road at Lambeau at that in a November game. So we'll get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about Bryce Young, because I think last week, Sunday, kind of opened the eyes to a lot of Panther fans who've been on the fence about Bryce Young and what he does and doesn't do. And I've been hearing that, there's no drop-off if Andy Dalton comes into the game. There's some things we saw Sunday that kind of made me yearn for Bryce Young to come into the game and play. And I was hoping he was in pads at least, and I realized he was in street clothes, so he wasn't going to play. But we're going to talk a little bit about Bryce, the keys to victory, so we can figure out if the Panthers can pull off this upset against Jordan Love and company. And it was a huge hit last week around the league, True False edition with Jonathan Stewart. We'll go around the league a little bit and get Stu's opinions on stuff there. Stu, of course, I mentioned before, Believe wants us to do some Halloween stuff. We'll take care of that after the show and bang that out real quick. But let's just hop into it. First things first, injury report. We are a walking trauma unit.
You're a walking trauma unit, you said?
We're a walking trauma unit right now.
Right. Boy,
Chandler Zavala.
They a bunch. So we a bunch of mummies right now. Is what you're saying?
Everybody wrapped up with some ice on them, like everybody. Chandler Zavala was on injured reserve. Dave Canales, head coach, said that Zavala will have his 21-day practice window open later this week, which is fantastic news because we are running out of offensive guards. Literally, we were running out of them. I think the last guy that came in on Sunday was some dude. Either they just pulled up from the practice squad or it just signed that week or something, just as extra depth, and he ended up playing in the game. So
somebody that we're not familiar with.
Yeah, I don't even know his name. So he ended up finishing the game, but Zavala back in there, possibly looks good. Some of these other ones I'm looking at from the game, we mentioned all the offensive line struggles on the Sunday show, but there were other injuries around the team. Derek Brown, the defensive end, he had a knee injury during Sunday's game. He told reporters he doesn't believe that he's dealing with a significant injury. So DB should be out there on Sunday unless he has some kind of setback over the week. Trevin Wallace, the linebacker, he's listed as questionable. He had a stinger injury. They thought it was a concussion. He ended up testing negative for that. It was a stinger. He couldn't get back in the game, couldn't get strength back in his arm. We expect to have Trevin back on Sunday. Brady Christensen is out. Dave Canales reported that he has a season-ending Achilles injury.
Yeah, so sad, man. Speedy recovery for you, buddy.
And he was the utility guy of that line. He had played pretty much every position: guard, center, tackle, and
he's what you call Army Swiss knife. Right?
Yeah, and now he's gone.
He's one of them guys that can do everything. He can play center, guard, tackle.
And he hadn't complained either, because he was a starter, then he wasn't. Then he was a starter, then he wasn't. He's just kind of waited his turn, and he could have went elsewhere in the offseason, stayed here, and now he's out for the season with a ruptured Achilles. Taylor Moton, our grizzled offensive tackle on the right side, has been ruled out for he was ruled out for the remainder of Sunday's contest with a knee injury. Have not gotten an update with him, but he's still showing as questionable, which is a good thing because he might be available on Sunday. Cade Mays had an ankle rolled over. That one's a little bit trickier. I would expect him probably to miss a week or so. Ankles don't typically heal in 4 days, 5 days. So, so I want to ask Bryce Young, so we'll see about that. And then Jimmy Horn Jr., he had a shoulder injury on Sunday. Man, the Bills banged us up, did they not?
They was bringing their helmets and shoulder pads. I can tell you that.
Good Lord. So that's that. All of those. I mean, I say all that because really everything I read, other than Brady Christensen, there's a chance I wouldn't expect Cade Mays to be available because of the ankle. But everyone else.
I will say this about Jake Corral.
Is that the
offensive line, the guard, or the tackle that's playing guard? He graded pretty good. He graded out offensively at an 82.1, pass block grade at 79.7, run block grade at 77.3. So for what it's worth, he played pretty solid.
That's good. Yeah. Well, he might have to play multiple spots on Sunday, depending on what goes down. So that's your injury report for this week. The Panthers traveling up to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field and the Green Bay Packers, a place I always love whenever we get a chance to go up to play. I think the last time we went up there, it was snowing by the end of the game, because I think might have been Bryce Young's rookie year, because I think it was 2 years ago where we had to go up there. We almost won that game. I remember, like, he kind of led a comeback towards the end, kind of ran out of time. The Packers ended up winning the game. But I remember it was up there and it started snowing in the game, and we were like near the red zone late or something like that. Now, yeah, I do want to say it was Bryce's rookie year. So let's hear it from you, Stu. Your initial thoughts here. The Packers coming into this contest are pretty good. They are leading the NFC standings in terms of percentage point wise. They are sitting at 5-1-1. So if the playoffs started today, they would be the 1 seed in the NFC with home field throughout at Lambeau. Thoughts about how many times did you play at Lambeau during your career?
Man, I played at Lambeau, I think twice.
Yeah.
One game I broke a long run and I got caught from behind because I cramped up.
Oh no.
I was it was cold. But I cramped up. It was like a 40-yard run, got caught from behind. Buddy strips me, the ball goes into the end zone. Travell Wharton, of all people, thank God for him, because he jumped on the ball. So
Travell Wharton was 40 yards down the field.
Oh yeah, so that's how you know he was blocking.
Yeah,
right? That's how you know your offensive line doing their job.
I love it.
But yeah, pull that up as a clip, and you'll see what happened in that game.
Oh,
and then the second time we played there, it was, I want to say I came off of an injury, maybe like a knee injury, an MCL or something, and and that was not the best of games that I've experienced.
Yeah,
as I can recall, I think we lost that game, but it's a special place though. There's a lot of history. The fans there are super nice, just football fans. You don't really get heckled as much. You actually get encouraged a little bit, like, man, good job, guys. You guys played a heck of a game. Like, stuff like that you hear from the Packers fans, and it's kind of crazy because they're so outrageous and they're loud and they're energetic and they wear these cheese hats. And you're thinking to yourself, man, this could be a tricky environment, but it's always a good time to play at Lambeau Field.
It almost feels like a college atmosphere. Would you say it's kind of more of a college atmosphere in the pros than most other places?
Yeah, maybe. But just the best college atmosphere you'll ever experience.
Yeah, it's like more of a professional college atmosphere, like where everyone's.
I remember D'Angelo Williams. He had like 3 touchdowns one game, and it was in Lambeau Field. I think it was that game. Fact check me if I'm wrong. But D'Angelo Williams had 3 touchdowns that game, and after the game, like, the fans were just like in awe. Like, all the Green Bay Packer fans, as we're going to the buses, going off the field, like, wow, D'Angelo, man, you had a heck of a game. It was just like, wow, this is super nice. Thanks.
Cheese curds talking, man. Like,
yeah, they're just happy to be there, man.
There's nothing to do up there but watch Green Bay football. Like, there's literally nothing else to do in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the fans is the only,
especially since the Wisconsin Badgers stink.
Yeah, I mean, it would be them or the other. So it's like they're the only team in the league where the fans that literally own pieces of the team. Like you own like stock in the team. The
that's the only team in NFL that's owned by fans.
Yeah, like the citizens of Green Bay. Like, it's not going anywhere, like, ever. Mm-hmm. Like they own it, and it's a proud tradition. I think I saw them week 1, after everyone was really on them in terms of like, oh, Green Bay's it. They're going to be great, blah, blah, blah. They didn't really necessarily fall off. They just kind of fell out of the radar of like everybody. And I had on here, it's in our true or false later on about them being overlooked as a Super Bowl contender, but thoughts on Green Bay. I'm gonna pull up their stats here. What do you think we need to do? Because we talked about this before in terms of, it's not so much about what we need to make the other team do. We're getting to a point where we need to decide, what do we need to do to win this game? What's the first couple things that pop in your head in terms of things that the Panthers can control that they need to do to come out with a win against the Packers, which would be an eye-open win, league-wise, pulled it off.
Well, we have Micah Parsons on the other side of the ball, and He's surrounded by some pretty good talent. And so one of the things that we have to make sure we have as far as the focus, right? You go throughout this week of preparation, the focus has to be protective quarterback, right? Limit sacks, which minimizes opportunities to turn the ball over, right? So we have to figure out how are we going to protect the ball, how we're going to protect the quarterback. And that comes from different ways, right? You might say, "Oh, well, pass protection." Well, it's also play calling too, right? Get the ball out quicker. Make sure we're, running the ball efficiently, so that way we're not one dimensional. But they're top 5, I think, in run defense. So
Yeah.
they're really good in the trenches. So as a team, they're going to have to find their leverage in tempo, right? They're gonna have to find their leverage in getting the ball out quicker. They're gonna have to find their leverage in when you run the ball, you have to make it count. It has to fit it has to fit the mold of who's out there on the field. So the ideas of what you might want to call, you might not be able to call based off of who is available. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
certain offensive linemen can block certain run plays better than others, right? So you have to take all those types of things into consideration when you are, preparing for your play call sheet, right? So you want to make sure you have to protect the quarterback. That's the biggest thing I think as far as offensively, and then defensively, um, you know, Tucker Kraft went off against the Steelers. You look at that linebacking core, they got exposed. The Steelers did, and I think in coverage, for the most part, our linebacking core got exposed early in the season against the Jaguars, against the Patriots. They took their tight ends and got active, and I mean that's going to call for the safety help. That's going to call for the linebackers to be in coverage, and I think Evero is going to have to figure out what's he going to do to set up certain disguises to trick Jordan Love as much as possible without being out of place, without getting your defense out of place to where you're getting taken advantage of in the run game, right? So it's a tricky matchup because they're again we're going to be talking about them as are they contenders or not, because this is the case that they're making as far as how they've been playing and how they've been matching up against other teams.
The defense for the Packers, I just went to go look. They have the 6th overall ranked defense in yards per game. Yards per game. They're allowing less than 300 yards a game, 289.4. On the passing end, they are about the same. Top 10.
Yeah. So as far as the primary objective offensively, you got to make sure your protection, especially on the weak side, right? They're going whatever the weak link at our offensive line is. We have to make sure we're protecting the quarterback and the runner from that piece that's weak, because that's exactly where they're going to attack. I can almost our right guard. Who do we call? What's his name?
Should be Taylor Moton, but the guy that came in, I guess, for him. You said his name earlier in the show. The guy that came off the street.
Forgot his name.
Nick I hope they're probably like that in the room. What's his name again? The guy just showed up. Guy that showed up. Wasn't
Jake Caron.
Yeah.
Hopefully them boys is ready, because Micah Parsons is going to be lining up wherever you are.
I feel like Micah had a fantastic game against us last year when he was with Dallas. When we saw him.
I don't think he made two. I think he got one sack, but he's a force to be reckoned with every play.
Yeah,
right? Which frees up everybody else.
Yeah. Green, here's something we've been talking about, our run game and getting the run game going. That might be hard to do in Green Bay. They are 3rd against the rush. Only Seattle and Cleveland are better than them. They're only allowing 78 yards on the ground, and we're 8 games into the season here, and about 21 points per game. So they have a very stout defense.
That still has to be, if that's a strength of ours, we have to lean into that.
Right. And that's what I was going to ask you. Do you go
no
away
matter
from that?
what, no matter what their strengths are, they are good at stopping the run. Sure, that's great. But we have to figure out how we're going to do what we do best. So establishing the run game to relieve the pass pressure, you have to do it so that way you relieve the moments in the game where you're dropping back time after time because you're playing from behind, right?
Yeah.
So we have to establish it. If we're not establishing the run, good luck.
Yeah, and they actually it should be strength on strength because it's time to beat our chest a little bit. The Carolina Panthers are 5th in the league in rushing right now, averaging 136 yards on the ground.
Yep.
Now the team we just saw, Buffalo, they're number 1 at 164. Now that game we just played probably helped that stat a little bit, but they were already up there already.
So but look, we still rushed for 114 yards and 28 carries, right? Last game against Buffalo. And we were playing from we were losing in that game, right?
We still stuck to it a little bit, yeah.
And so that's still something that we can lean in on into this game. And that has to be the game plan. We have to be a force to be reckoned with in the trenches and with the ball carriers.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why I went to go look at the stats. Green Bay is top 10 passing yards, rushing yards, total defense, total offense. Like they're literally just humming along. Yeah, and I'm just like, why aren't we talking about the Panthers or the Packers more than what we really are? We've been talking about other squads, but the Packers, again, they're 5-1-1. Was it the Cowboys they tied?
Yeah, they did. The Cowboys.
So they tied the Cowboys, and I can't remember who they lost to, but they've been pretty good. Like, what are your thoughts on Jordan Love? Because you never really hear his name when you talk about the elite quarterbacks, but he's by far he's not like a run of the mill kind of guy. He's a young guy too. The Packers have had the best luck with quarterbacks over the past 35 years, like going back to Favre for like 18 years, and then you have Rodgers for 15 years, and now you've got Jordan Love right behind that. Like literally, they've never really had to go through the problems that other franchise like us have had to go through when this pockets we don't have a quarterback. What are your thoughts on Jordan Love? Is he the type of guy that can go win a game by himself, or not by himself, but put a team on his back and go snatch a game?
Yeah, I think he's proven over time that he's been able to do that. I think the big games obviously is still a question mark because they haven't been able to advance the way they should have in the playoffs, right? Sounds very familiar to the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has all the tangibles of a good quarterback, and I think the perfect situation for them is the fact that they have a great defense, right? Your defense will give you the ball back. They added Micah Parsons, which elevates that pass rush. So no matter what, you're always going to be in a comfortable position of not having to play from behind as much, right? So the pressure is never going to be on you as a quarterback to have to deliver, right? You can depend on your safety net, which is your tight end. You can depend on your run game and then play action and be patient with the touchdowns. Be patient with moving the ball into your opponent's territory. So I think he does have he has what it takes, but without the pieces around him, he's not Jordan Love that we see.
Yeah, so he's one of those guys where he kind of needs the pieces around, kind of like a Bryce Young, where I think that's okay to say that I think Bryce needs to have pieces around him in order to truly be his full form. And Bryce Young, I did write on here Bryce Young's growth because, again, Sunday taught me, I can't speak for all of Panther Nation, but Sunday taught me watching that game. It's like, you know what? Bryce Young does some things where, yes, I get mad at him like when it happens, which is natural. Quarterback's going to get that kind of stuff. Interception happens, fumble happens, everyone's going to look at the quarterback. Last Sunday was really the first Sunday where I was like, you know what? I wonder what this would look like if Bryce was playing instead of Andy. Because the last time when Bryce missed time, well, when he got benched and Andy came in last year, we were wanting it. Like we were like, yeah, we need to see Andy because Bryce just something ain't clicking right now. We've seen enough. Get Andy in there. Andy came in against the Raiders, won. We were all happy. We're like, oh, this might work out. And then the air kind of slowly went out of the balloon. This was the first time where Andy came in for Bryce, and I'm like, I'd rather see Bryce. Like I've seen enough of Bryce now, especially to start this year, where even the games that we lost, he had us kind of in him, except for the Patriots game, which we'll just, because the Patriots might be a different entity than we thought to begin with. But all the other ones, either we won them or we came from behind, made it interesting in the fourth. He had a couple of fourth quarter comebacks already this year. He's grown. He's really grown into this role. And I feel like Dave Canales is finally kind of 100% behind him this is my quarterback, where I feel like he kind of had a toe in the water kind of out with him last year. Like he wasn't really sure. Now they've been together going on, a year and a half. You can see the maturation of Bryce Young, and it helps that he has more things around him. Like he has, thanks to Dan Morgan,
he has the weapons
pieces. Yeah, he's got some extra pieces that he can play with too. The line
needs some offensive linemen to play with too.
Yeah, he needs some of those. So maybe they do hold Bryce back,
which he does have. But we don't have to make sure the guys that are new to the game have to prove their point.
We'll see how they do that there. But what's your number one key to victory for the Panthers? Because this is a tall task here. Like, I mean, we thought Buffalo was tough. At least we were at home for that one, and we started off healthy. Like, we're going up to Green Bay banged up and going to play at Lambeau. And again, they're top 10 offensive and defensively, really across the board. Like, this is one of those teams going to be probably playing in January, like late January. What do you think we got to do here?
Well, we have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. We got to run the ball hard and avoid negative plays, right? So we know that they're good on defense, but let's just limit the negative plays. If we get a 2-yard gain, that's a positive. Just keep on knocking on the door, right? Keep on, moving the chains and getting, the opportunity to switch field positions, right? Play that game. We don't have to score immediately. Because I think also when you are able to control the line of scrimmage and you're playing the slow game, you're playing the run game, we're trying to be not necessarily bully ball, but we're just playing to our strengths. And what that does is it keeps the defense off the field. It gives them time to, figure out what they're going to do. It gives them rest. Those big bodies up front in the front seven, they need time, to be on the sideline for a little bit. So especially when you're playing a team that does have countless weapons. I mean, they have Josh Jacobs. They have a established running game. They're middle of the pack in the run offense this year. They have speed, they have weapons, right? So we don't necessarily want to play that game of whose offense is better. So our job is to make sure we play Panther ball, which is control the line of scrimmage. I think offensive line and protection scheme must account for Parsons. So I'm talking slides, right? So slide protection. If he's to the left, we got to slide to the left. Okay, like whatever. If it's not slide protection, make sure our backs are chipping on the way out into their routes. If your guy's not coming on a blitz, make sure you're chipping on the way out, which means the running back is on the way out to the flat, and he's on the left side of the ball. He's got help Icky out on that chip as you release out, right? Yeah. And then max protection, right? Everybody's in for the protection, right? Our objective is to protect the quarterback. So nobody's getting out. Tight ends are in, running backs are in, offensive line, y'all stay intact. Because we don't want to give them momentum on defense. And what's the biggest momentum shift outside of an interception or a fumble? It is a sack. It takes the air out of your sail. And so, again, going back to what I said before, we can't take negative plays. Avoid negative plays because those are the things that take the wind out of your sail. You look at last week when we played the Buffalo Bills, Rico Dowdle hits a 20-yard run, right? And then we go into what was that package? Two backs. Wildcat.
Yeah.
We went Wildcat.
Which was odd. Yeah, because we were way down.
And then we took a negative play.
Yeah.
That was a negative play that we had right there. After a big gain, you have a negative play. Now it puts you at 2nd and 12. rather than being at 2nd and 8. I'd rather be 2nd and 8 than 2nd and 12. Okay. And so those are the little things as far as what you, if you stay within that mindset of moving the ball forward, you're helping the play caller out. Because now 2nd and 8, okay, now that gives me more plays to work with. Oh, 2nd and 5, that gives me way more plays to work with. 2nd and 12, all right, now we're limited. Okay. 2nd and 15, we're really limited. And so just make that easier of a process when it comes to the schemes as far as protecting and making sure we're not losing yardage. The secondary, the linebackers, be fundamentally sound in coverage. You got to be fundamentally sound in coverage. They're going to try to get you on the digs. They're going to try to get you on the crossing routes, over the drags with the tight ends, all of that. You're going to have to be fundamentally sound and just keep your eyes on the quarterback. Okay? Like if you're sitting in zone, just watch film and know where he's going to go. If you need help, call Luke Kuechly.
Man, I wish we had Luke Kuechly right now.
Play like Luke Kuechly and we'll be okay.
The only thing I would add to that, I agree to all that, limit the explosive plays on the ground for the Panther defense against the Green Bay Packer offense. Because that one of the things that kind of rips your heart out is when they do run off a 25-yard run or whatever, and you start feeling like you can't stop it. That's what it was feeling like against Buffalo. Like, and we have been doing so good up until
we've been doing that to other teams.
Yeah, we've been running on them and not allowing them to do anything in terms of the run. I know it's going to depend on Derek Brown being available. That's a wall of a man. If he's not there, that's a gigantic hole all of a sudden. It's in the middle of your defense.
Hopefully he's all right.
I think he should be. He sounded like he's going to be okay, but that would be the only thing I would add for that. FanDuel bet of the week, and I didn't mention it to you, but it is Halloween week here at Believe, and you'll see a lot of promo stuff from Believe throughout the course of this week. There's something on here I was leaving as a surprise, so I wanted you to do it off the top of the dome. Build your monster team, Stu. 1 quarterback, 1 wide receiver, 1 scary defender, league wide, not just your team. So you can pick from the Panthers if you choose to. I'm not. I'm going to pick from. I'm going to pick from around the league. I wrote down the 3 that I have.
So I have to pick what now?
1 quarterback. Well, build your monster team. 1 quarterback, 1 wide receiver, and 1 scary defender. You can pick from anybody in the league. You know what, I might change my defender. I wrote down I'm going to change my defender. I'm going to go Homer.
And 1 offensive player, you said?
No, 1 scary defender. So 1 quarterback, 1 wide receiver, 1 scary defender.
Okay.
Like, you want to hear mine? Like, I got mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
So quarterback, of course, I had to go with Pat Mahomes. Like, he's the scariest quarterback in the league, in my opinion, still. It took me years to come around to that. So I'm riding with Pat until otherwise noted. Wide receiver, I picked Dallas's CeeDee Lamb. I feel like he's a top 5 wide receiver. And I just changed it. I had Myles Garrett on here for my defender. I've scribbled that out. I'm putting Derek Brown. I'm putting Derek Brown's name on there because Derek Brown is a top 5 defensive tackle in this league. He might be the best defensive tackle in this league. And he's scary. He does a lot of things besides just chasing the quarterback. He disrupts the entire offense. So I'm going Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Derek Brown.
Okay. I'm going Myles Garrett.
Ooh, okay. So you're going to take Garrett for the defender. Okay.
Jamar Chase.
Ooh, okay. Let's go on. And your quarterback?
Josh Allen.
That ain't bad.
Josh Allen had us scared when he was over there
just scrambling around. Yeah, just a threat of him running around. We're like, no.
He was running backwards. I'm like, oh, he's about to complete this.
Oh, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy you mentioned that because I just saw call across ESPN. The Ravens expect quarterback Lamar Jackson to start Thursday at Miami. So, that's I'm not sure.
He's back. If he's back,
then
it's Lamar Jackson. Then
you switch it to Lamar.
That's a scary situation.
He may be the scariest out of all of them. So that's our Believe monster team for Halloween 2025. I've got Pat Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, and Derek Brown. Stu's got Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, and Myles Garrett. So there you have it. Now the FanDuel bet of the week. I went in and found the popular bets for Panthers versus Green Bay, and they've got Panthers total points 16.5, over plus 100, under negative 128. And I was like, 16.5 seems kind of low, don't it? Like for what we've been doing. Well, maybe. I don't know. I know they know what they're doing, but I'm just kind of like, that's kind of one of those things there where I'm like, I don't know. That's an interesting one there. And then if you want to get really froggy, there's one. Will there be overtime? Yes, it's plus 1,800. No, it's negative 8,000.
I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all betting on that, y'all need to go see it. Y'all need help.
Degenerates. Y'all
need help if you betting on that one.
Will there be overtime?
There's a hotline too on Fanduel.
Yeah, there is a number at the bottom if you have some issues. If you're having some issues, definitely check that out. But yeah, if you bet on will there be overtime between the Panthers and Green Bay? Remember, like I said 2 years ago, did they go to overtime? They may have gone to overtime in Lambeau last time. Maybe that's why it's on here. So if you wager $10 on that, on the yes, you'll win $180. If you wager on the no, there will not be. You'll win 13 cents.
Yeah,
that $10.
That's not worth.
They want you to
don't do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't do it. But it's there.
I'll tell you what bet I'm taking here.
What you got?
I'm taking that plus 12.5.
Oh, for the Panthers spread.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Yeah,
because as long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we're gonna take a sack or two. Okay, I'm okay with that. But as long as we don't get 3, 4, 5 sacks and we don't turn the ball over, that means we are putting ourselves in position to at least move the chains, get in field goal position, and maybe even score, right? A couple times. And just gives ourselves a chance, right? And if Bryce is back, I feel even more better about that.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I thought I saw that he passed some kind of running drill or something yesterday. Now they're off today, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They'll be out there Wednesday, and that's when we'll fully see if
they off today. Tuesdays are off.
Yeah, so but I think Canales said Monday he had passed a series of running tests or something like just testing it out. So he's getting better. And Bryce, he's fairly a quick healer. Like he got hurt last year, missed one game. I think it was an ankle injury there, and he missed one game. He was right back out there. Other than him getting benched at the beginning of the year last year, anytime he's got banged up, he hasn't really missed any time. So we got that there. Real rapid fire here. It was a hit nationwide last week, so we're bringing it back around the league. True or false with Jonathan Stewart. Let's just get rapid fire here, Stu, before we get out of here. Okay. The New England Patriots are a Super Bowl contender. True or false?
False.
False. Ooh. What do you think? It's too early?
Too early, man. Don't fall into that trap.
Drake may compete in 75% of his
who runs the AFC. You know who runs the AFC.
I don't have him on this true false, but we know who's lurking in the background like a Disney villain. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're just sitting back there,
right there looking at you like silly fools.
True fools. True or false? The Packers are being overlooked as a Super Bowl contender.
I think true. I think given what we saw them playing the Steelers, Micah Parsons makes them a legitimate defense. And then they have emerging weapons all over the place. I mean, they probably had a game plan to basically stop the receiving core. The Steelers did, and then they had Tucker Kraft just basically get crafty on them and run all over the place.
I see what you did there.
Boy had 150 plus something yards receiving, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he did it in great fashion because it was tight end? It was National Tight End Day.
Yeah, I didn't realize George Kittle created that. Like I was watching the Cowboys game or something on Sunday night after we were done, and some of the announcer mentioned it. It was like George Kittle mentioned it like in a post game or something. It's like, I got 2 touchdowns. It's National Tight End Day, and then like it became an actual day. That was Sunday. It was National Tight End Day apparently. So
I mean, this is a guy that is obviously there, and he is a huge part of that offense. And so I just think that they are developing as they go. I think having a loss early in the season kind of helped them gauge where they are. Having a tie also gauges where you are as a team. So there's a lot of things that you can learn from yourself about in those types of games. So I just feel like they are definitely the more consistent team.
Yeah, your Green Bay's been pretty consistent all year. So the Packers, we get to play them Sunday, 1:00 on Fox at Lambeau Field. True or false around the league with Jonathan Stewart before we get out of here. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor should be the league MVP.
Man, I'm a running back, and I believe
that's why I put it on here.
I believe in Jonathan Taylor. I don't know if he's going to be considered the MVP of the league, especially if Baker Mayfield continues to run through folks. And I mean, run through them literally and figuratively. But Baker Mayfield is no question the lead MVP right now in my case, because he's a quarterback. It's a quarterback league, and he without him, the Buccaneers are struggling. Period. Jonathan Taylor, without him, they would probably win by field goals and maybe a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be 6-1. Yeah,
with him, they are blowing people up.
They've been blowing. Yeah, the Colts have been blowing people out. And Taylor, he leads the league in rushing with 850 yards in 8 games. So he's literally averaging about 110, 112 yards a game. He's the only back in the league averaging over 100 yards per game. And he's still got 9 games to go. Like he's on pace to get to about 1,700, 1,800 yards.
I mean, how many touchdowns does he have?
You know what? That I don't know. Let me go check. See, he's had 12 already.
12 touchdowns already.
Yeah. 850, and he's averaging 5.9 yards a carry right now. Like he's
touchdowns in 8 games. That means he's gonna have
20. What's the record?
30 touchdowns this year. This is kind of the season that D'Angelo had one year, where that year I was telling you, he had 3 touchdowns in a Green Bay game.
Yeah,
he had like another 3 touchdowns against New York against the Giants.
Record for
that boy was out there. He out there running.
That season, I think LaDainian Tomlinson has the record. He does.
Nah, I think it's Sean Alexander does, don't he?
Nah, he broke. Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander shared it. Alexander did it in 2005. Holmes did it in 2003.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did break it.
Tomlinson broke it in 2006. So the single season record is 28. He is on pace for that, is he not? 12 through 8 games. He's going to be right around it. Yeah,
especially with 17 games this year. I can see them not playing the 17th game if they're 6 and they're standing right now with 1 loss. They might not play the last 2 games.
That might be some danger. The last running back that won MVP was Adrian Peterson, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2012. So it's been over like
this could be that year where if the Carolina Panthers handle business and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice, yes, he's the league MVP.
And then finally, the Ravens aren't dead yet. I just mentioned Lamar Jackson's he's been out for a couple of weeks. They're 1-5, but that division has come back to them. The Steelers leading that division, but they're at 4-3. They're only 2 games out of first. Are the Ravens dead? True or false?
Listen, this is true. This is true, and especially with Lamar Jackson coming back as a mummy on Thursday night. If he comes back and he shows out, and he shows why he is NFL's past MVP.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to think that they are not dead, right? The physical run game, and when healthy, they still have playoff caliber, right? The ceiling's still high. The floor, I think the floor has already taken a hit. I feel like they've already reached their floor.
That defense need to be a little, because Lamar can't play defense. Well, maybe Lamar can play defense. I don't know. He might have to, because that's the only thing really holding them back. And then we got to get out of here. I'm up against it. Give me your prediction. You've been pretty on point, except for last week. You've been pretty on point with our, our scores. So
listen, this is my prediction. Man. This is my prediction. Rico Dowdle. Okay. He ain't just hitting the hole. He is the hole. He's creating his own lanes. When he lowers his shoulder, you hear the turf say, "Oh no!" Right? Here we go again. Some folks might call him organized crime. I heard some folks call him organized crime out there.
I love that.
A guy who doesn't just sneak. He works the hole like a blue collar somebody. One of them blue collar folks, right? Guy that's over there toting hammer.
Bag of coal, all this stuff
and stuff. Okay, he's got the beef with everybody when he's toting that pill. Okay, he's purposeful, control chaos, all of that. And, you know, I'm thinking about Cook and how he ran through us, right? He runs just like that.
With conviction,
okay?
Yeah. I know where I'm going.
And basically, Rico Dowdle has bills to pay, and defenders are standing in line at the ATM, so they got to get out the way. Okay, the people in the locker room say he run angry. We see him run angry. He runs with intent, violence with vision. This is everything that you want out of a running back.
That's a T-shirt. Violence with vision.
Violence with vision.
Yeah, that's
right.
I like that. That's good.
And all the receipts are absolutely being held in my pocket. Okay, Chuba Hubbard is still in the room, right? He's earned his carries. He's earned the right. He is the reason why the Carolina Panthers has found their DNA. He's a huge part of who they are and who they've become. And so you're going to need both of these guys throughout the rest of the season. So obviously, you hear Canellas yesterday make a statement about, the room and the playing time. And so he notices Rico, just like everybody else notices Rico. Everybody's going to have their time to shine. Everybody's going to have their time to eat. And right now, Rico has been eating. And let's let this young man eat, because when he eats, everybody eats. And that's just the way that this thing goes, man. The Panthers need the identity to show up in the run game. And I think we found it. We found it last year through Chuba. This year, we found it through Rico. And it's just going to continue to go back and forth through that room. This team lives and dies by who's running the pill and if we're giving these guys ample opportunity to do so, right? You can't just give guy a bite here, a bite there. You got to let them eat, because when they eat, what did I say? Everybody eats.
So give me a score. Give me a prediction.
The score, I'm going to go with
the over-under. The over-under is
24 to 20. 24-20.
You put it right on it too. 24-20 who?
Carolina Panthers. You already know. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Carolina Panthers.
People want to ask.
Anybody got some smoke? Come holler at me. You call me everything at the book. I don't know anything about ball. I don't know anything, but I know one thing. If you don't believe in something, you'll fall for
anything. Exactly right. So you heard it here first. Panthers pull off the upset 24-20 over the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, according to Jonathan Stewart. I have no idea what to predict for that. I'm just going to let Stu let that ride for the whole show. So we're going 24-20. I like it. Should be a fun game. Hopefully we're healthy enough to really compete, and hopefully we got Bryce Young back. Hopefully we got our number one back. So we'll see. But we got to get out of here. Again, make sure you rate and subscribe over the Believe YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our actual playlist for Believe in Panthers. So when a new episode pops up, it'll alert you on your phone, so you can get in there and watch that. Again, usually live every Sunday after the game. So we'll be on around anywhere between 4 and 6 o'clock after the game on Sunday. And then our midweek edition usually drops on Wednesdays from Believe. So for Jonathan Stewart, for Fanduel, this is Desmond Johnson. You've been watching and listening to the Believe in Panthers podcast here on Believe Podcast Networks. Keep pounding.